Let's talk about the one thing that probably causes more daily anxiety than anything else, your iPhone's battery. Well, we're about to give you the missing manual, the simple, powerful rules you need to finally master its performance and, maybe more importantly, its lifespan. Let's get right into it.
Does this look familiar?
Yeah, that constant, low-level panic of watching that little battery icon turn red, always scanning the room for the nearest outlet. It's like we're literally tethered to the wall. But what if I told you that with just a few key habits, you could actually break free?
All right, so the very first thing you have to understand is that you're not just solving one problem here. You're actually solving two. See, it's about getting through the day, for sure, but it's also about making sure your battery is still healthy enough to last for years to come. Think of it like this. On one hand, you've got daily endurance. That's just, how many hours you get from a single charge today. But on the other hand, you have its chemical lifespan. And that's the slow, unavoidable aging process that decides how many years your battery will hold a decent charge before you have to get it replaced. Now, the tricks to manage them, they're connected, but they're definitely different.
So where do we even begin? Well, we start with the single most important habit you can possibly adopt. Seriously, this is the golden rule, and it will fundamentally change how you think about charging your phone forever.
Okay, so here's the science behind it, and it's actually pretty simple. Imagine your iPhone's battery is like a rubber band. If you stretch it all the way to 100% or let it go completely slack at 0%, that's when it's under the most chemical stress. And over time, all that stress causes real, permanent damage.
Let's start at the bottom. Letting your phone die completely, well, it's one of the worst things you can do to it. Every single time it hits zero, it causes a tiny bit of irreversible chemical damage, and that shortens its all-important lifespan. So from now on, just think of 20% as your new empty.
And then, on the flip side, avoiding a full 100% charge is just as crucial. See, pushing that last 20% of juice into the battery requires a really high voltage, and that generates heat and stress, which just speeds up the aging process. 80%? That is the sweet spot. That's where your battery is just happy and healthy.
So really, it all boils down to this super simple 3-step routine. Number 1, avoid hitting 0% at all costs. Number 2, just live in that 20 to 80% sweet spot for your daily use. And number 3, if you're ever storing an old iPhone for a while, just leave it at a 50% charge. It's kind of like putting it into a comfortable hibernation.
Now look, I get it. Trying to keep track of that 20-80 rule all day can be a real pain. But the good news is, Apple knows this. And they've built tools right into your iPhone to do all the heavy lifting for you.
So here are the tools you've got in your arsenal. If you have an iPhone 15 or newer, the 80% limit setting is an absolute game changer. You just turn it on, and your phone automatically stops charging at 80%. Boom, done. For older models, optimized charging is your friend. It learns your daily routine and holds the charge at 80% overnight until just before you wake up. And for everyone, low power mode is your best friend when you dip down to 20%. It just automatically cuts back on background activity to save every last drop of power.
Okay, so we've got charging handled. Now let's talk about what's actually draining your battery in the first place. These are the top 3 silent assassins of your battery's health and its daily endurance.
The number one enemy of any battery is heat. It's really that simple. Charging your phone in direct sunlight, leaving it on the dashboard of your car, or even just charging it with a really thick case on, all of that can generate enough heat to permanently damage its capacity. So if your phone feels hot to the touch, get it into the shade and take that case off.
Next up, we have the 2 biggest power hogs on your device. No question. That beautiful, bright screen and the cellular modem that keeps you connected to the world. Taming these 2 is absolutely essential for making it through the day.
So if your iPhone has an OLED screen, and that's most models since the iPhone X, this one is a total no-brainer. In dark mode, any pixel that's black is literally turned off. It's using 0 power. This one simple switch can save you up to 30% of your battery life. It's one of the easiest wins you can possibly get.
And here are a few more quick settings to check out. Make sure auto brightness is on. Trust me, your phone knows better than you do how bright the screen actually needs to be. Use Wi-Fi whenever you can. It's way more power efficient than cellular data. And please, set 5G to auto, not on, so your phone isn't constantly wasting power hunting for a super fast signal it probably doesn't even need.
And finally, let's hunt down the vampires. The apps and services that are sucking power in the background without you even realizing it. These silent drains can be the difference between ending your day with 40% left or a measly 4%.
it is definitely worth doing a quick audit of your settings. Go in and turn off background app refresh for any apps that don't need to be constantly updating. For location services, check which apps are set to always and switch them to while using. And yeah, believe it or not, even those little keyboard vibrations, the haptics, they add up if you text a lot.
Phew! Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. But if you stick with that one golden rule we started with, I promise you the payoff is absolutely massive. This is the pro tip that ties this whole thing together.
So on an iPhone 15 or newer, you can actually see something called your battery's cycle count. Now, a cycle is just one full charge and discharge. So say you use 50% one day and 50% the next, that adds up to one full cycle. Apple designs these batteries to last for about 1,000 of these cycles before their health really starts to degrade. And that might sound like a lot, but charging your phone every single day adds up fast.
And this, right here, brings us to the ultimate reward. By consistently living in that 20 to 80% zone, you are dramatically reducing the stress on your battery. You're basically using these smaller, gentler mini-cycles. And this one simple habit can often double the number of years it takes to hit that 1,000 cycle limit. You could go from needing a new phone in 2 years to keeping yours for 4, maybe even more, all with a perfectly healthy battery.
So there you have it. That's the manual that didn't come in the box. The real power isn't just in your phone's battery, it's in how you use it. So the only question left is, now that you know the rules, are you going to take back control?